You are listening to the Athena podcast with Lilia. Hello and welcome to the Athena podcast. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you all listened to my previous podcast, which was the first episode. Okay, so for this second episode, I was planning for a very long time to talk about entrepreneurship and employment. يعني كنت حابة نهضر على entrepreneurship وحده because it's a new experience for me. بصح at this point j'ai décidé ندير un épisode when ماشي I compare the two بصح I just want to break some kind of belief, which is, you know, some people who are glamorizing entrepreneurship and hustling and blah blah blah. So وعلاش I decided to do this, it's because ماشي recently يعني it's been a while now, I've been experiencing entrepreneurship at its finest. You know, for some who know me, على بالهم بليك ça fait pratiquement 6 ans نقري في des écoles privées, both French and English as a second language, and قري par niveau seulement. Okay, so وعلاش je précise, you're gonna know after. Donc نقري juste par niveau, which makes of me an employee. Donc je suis employé, je suis salarié. Now, a year ago, me, my mom and my sister decided to start an affair, and we did, and it went good. بصح, you know, it's nothing like the image we see on internet about entrepreneurship who you know, hustling and blah blah blah. You know what I mean, I'm sure. Now نعطيكم the definition of both employee and entrepreneur for those who want and might be interested in definitions. So the first definition is, what is an entrepreneur? So it is a person who sets up a business or more, taking on a financial risk in hope of profit. Okay? An employee, on the other hand, is working for another person or for a business form for a pay. Okay? كان يعطوا the 9 to 5 jobs ولا 8 to 4 jobs, and you know, these are the differences between what is an employee and what is an entrepreneur. بصح I have to add up something, which is one cannot be without the other, which is obvious, right? Now, the difference between an entrepreneur and an employee is the next. Donc أنا نهضر لكم surtout عليا أنا and my personal experience in entrepreneurship. Alors, so first of all, to be an entrepreneur is not glamorous, it's not a luxury, it's a lot of work. It's the first stigma that I would like to break, because نشوفوا sur internet, especially on Instagram, people talking about hustling and you know, minimizing شوية 9 to 5 jobs. So the difference for me is the amount of responsibility, the level of responsibility. كي تكون entrepreneur, le problème مع l'entrepreneuriat, it's not really a problem, it's a risk you have to be willing to take, is you are responsible, which means if something goes wrong, you don't fucking eat. If something goes wrong, maybe if you have employees, be, you know, responsible for them too. And if something goes wrong, it is your fault. It is no one else's fault. C'est la faute ديالك. إلا كاش ما صرا, it's your fault because you are the business owner and you take responsibility for everybody. Now, the earnings, okay, so you're gonna feel like you are living in a constant fear and stress because of the earnings. By the way, كاين des statistiques qui montrent que des fois business owners and employees à la fin de l'année تلقى l'employé عنده plus d'argent mis de côté qu'un business owner, qu'un entrepreneur. L'estimation تكون par rapport à l'investissement de l'entrepreneur, bien sûr. شحال il a investi par rapport à شحال il a gagné في l'année. And at the end, تلقى بلي que l'employé il a mis de côté plus d'argent, which makes it maybe something to think about. Now, being an entrepreneur, وش لازم to be an entrepreneur, and it's a headache. Because what it requires is to, first of all, find a vision. Have a vision, and then fund your vision. You have funds. You have to find funds. You have to define strategies, define a business plan. You have to always stay focused. You have to target. Bref, you have to be always productive, always motivated, strategical, systematic. You have to be a leader. You have to know how to lead, especially إلا عندك une équipe معاك لازم تكون un bon leader, right? And you need to be very responsible. For example, let's suppose كاش ما يصرى your building or your shop, or what you're gonna lose is everything, right? Except what your insurance can help you with. So if you're an employee and the building burns out, what you lose is simply your job, and then you're gonna get another one anyway. So see the balance. Being an employee, on the other hand, is much less complicated. بس يعني نقول لكم less complicated بصح كاين some positions, some work positions that require more responsibility than being an entrepreneur, honestly. And therefore كاين تاني the job 9 to 5 jobs اللي تلقى لا باي تاعهم vraiment طالع على واش a business can provide يعني monthly. Not every businesses depend really on the business and the investment first. So let's say that there are jobs that provide very high pays, which is great. Now, for the competence of the employee, la paye change en général. Donc, both être un entrepreneur ou un employé عندهم good and bad sides. And I'm gonna judge because I am both, right? I work as a teacher at several establishments. So at the same time I work for my own affair with my family. So let's say that أنا وش نخير بيناتهم en gros. If I had one choice to make, I would take entrepreneurship. Why? And I know myself so well that I know that I cannot spend the rest of my life working for somebody else. Not because I see myself better than others. Non, pas du tout. It's just because my time is very important, and I need some kind of freedom in time, and this is what a 9 to 5 job cannot provide for me. ما نقدرش I spend from 9 in the morning till 5 p.m. قاعدة في بلاصة وحدة ندير one single thing. It's not possible. أنا ما نقدرش. Though I worked in a lot of establishments كما قلت لكم, بصح see when I told you, remember that كنت نخدم في des écoles privées par niveau. Why? Because you get to choose les groupes اللي تديهم الوقت تاعهم, and that's what I was doing. So أنا كنت نخير لي جروب تاعي, أنا كنت نخير الوقت تاعي, أنا كنت نخير وقتاش نقري وقتاش ما نقريش, and it was great for me. and this is why I was, finding some kind of freedom in being an employee. Now, it's the same thing for entrepreneurship. You think that you have more time because you are an entrepreneur, so it's completely false. Why? Because when you have an affair, as I told you, if something goes wrong, إلا حاجة راحت de travers, c'est ta faute, because you are the owner and you have to take your responsibility. So you are living in constant stress of something going wrong. And which means when you go back home, you're gonna still think about your affair, you're gonna still think about work, you're gonna maybe still work, even at home. When people who are employees يروحوا الدار and they, spend time with their children, watch TV, watch Netflix, go to sleep, and go back at 9 in the morning to their, work, and then they will think about work. See هنايا the balance تانيت, and كل واحد وش يحب. أنا وحدة, I prefer, having some time for myself. But to be honest, I feel like I cannot finish all my life as an employee, because I have so much more vision and so much more goals and things that I would like to achieve, that at a certain point I think I'm 100% sure, ماشي I think that واش أنا يخرج عليا c'est l'entrepreneuriat or l'entrepreneuriat. So now we cannot judge people who just want to, have un certain laps de temps يروحوا يخدموا فيه and then يعاودوا يولوا and they don't think about their work. كل واحد وش يخرج عليه. There are people who have 9-to-5 jobs who are perfectly happy with their jobs and their time, and they manage their time كيما هما يحبوا par rapport au 9-to-5 تاعهم. And there are people who are entrepreneurs تانيت اللي يخدموا H24 على l'affaire ديالهم, and they try to manage time and be as organized as possible in order to have that, little pause. Don't تخمم على l'affaire ديالك. Oh my god. So yeah, that's the difference in my opinion. And now what I think, Tanit, about time, about being an entrepreneur, is not having a hand on my time as free time. No, I just would like to have that freedom to be able to work from anywhere at any time. C'est ça qui me motive à la base, because I don't mind working on something, especially when it is a goal I myself set. بصح I would like to have that freedom to work, I don't know, from home, from a coffee shop, from I don't know where, a plane, and be able to continue doing my work from there. That's my real motivation. And now why I'm doing this actually, وعلاش راني ندير la différence un peu entre being having a 9-to-5 job ولا having an affair. It's because I'm done, with people glamorizing being entrepreneurs and having affairs and pushing people to take risks, because we all are very, very different. On est tous différents, and the amount of أنا les risques que je peux prendre, ils sont énormes. Why? Because I have no responsibility. I have no home of my own, and I have no children to take care of. I have my cats, and it's not that big of a deal. But كاين ناس اللي ما يقدروش, they just let their 9-to-5 job and go fund their dreams and stuff while they have babies to take care of. Or وعلاش? Because sometimes you take risks and there's no going back. هذه يعني c'est un peu it's deficient when الناس ما يعرفوش كيفاش they take risks. I don't know who said this, but there is a quote that says I don't remember the quote يعني word by word, but it says that when you're about to take a risk, make sure to go one single foot, and then put the other if you feel like it is worth it. Why? Because when you put one foot, not both, tu vas tester le hamma. And here you're gonna know how it's gonna work. And if you feel like it's not gonna work, you can go back. Yani the stress it represents is huge. It's ginormous. The stress having an affair and being an entrepreneur represents is too much. I mean, unless you are really confident in your funds, it really is so stressful. And c'est pour ça les gens qui sont entrepreneurs en général تلقاهم always stressed, and you feel like they're living their best life, but sweetheart, trust me, because it requires so much mental fortitude, being very aware, very conscious about your mental health, go into therapy even, because you get to face a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and لازم تحمل failures, losses, complications, unexpected surprises, and also you have to work endlessly. يعني surtout في les débuts, because there are methods, there are things that you can, tu peux faire en sorte que tes premières années t'aiment, mais après pas du tout. But it's not gonna happen after one night. Yeah. So ماشي اليوم تحل your affair غدوة you expect تقعد راقد and your affair works for you. No, sweetheart. I know that Facebook post or that Instagram post said so, بصح no. Trust me, it's not that. Now, to be an entrepreneur, actually هذه أنايا I experience it. Sometimes there is an action that you have to take, and if you fail to take it, it actually will count in your affairs picture. You're gonna end up having complications, having losses, and not everybody, as I told you, I have no responsibilities. But it's gonna cost you a lot, even though مانيش نهضر على l'affaire هذيك, because though I work with my sister and mother in our own affair, let's say that I even my trainings, les formations en ligne نديرهم في personal improvement, I found them, and sometimes it happened like once or once, I found out that خسرت more than وش ربحت. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, this is one of the things les imprévus اللي يقدروا يصراو لك, and you're like, shit, I didn't do the math. Yeah, ça arrive en gros, ça arrive surtout les débuts, and you have to handle that. And even though it represents un coup de blues قد الدنيا, and it's very stressful, you're gonna get over it. ماشي هنا لازم تحبس and you're like, no, I should stop trying to work for myself. I mean, if you know that it is your goal and your vision and your truth to be an entrepreneur, I'm not trying, je n'essaie pas de vous dissuader ou نخوفكم or something. Go for it. I'm just saying that it's not glamorous, it's not luxurious, it's not as cute as what social media tries to make it appear. Now, if you don't know which one you want to be yet, إلا مازال ما على بالكش lequel فيهم tu préfères, working a 9 to 5 ولا working for yourself, what I can suggest is for you to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is success to you? Kindly, success for them is to live a peaceful life out of stress, out of anxiety, being able to pay bills in time, being able to, take care of a family, and, just having a peaceful life. And كاين يوم يقولوا لك I have this goal and that goal and this goal and that goal, financial goal, and I need to, I don't know, I have a vision that I would like to share with people. I have a vision, I have something to offer to people, because en général les entrepreneurs كامل عندهم حاجة they want to offer to others and to make a living out of it. Okay? For example, in personal improvement, I would like to offer some kind of help to people, and so I make a business out of it, because why would I أصلا نخدم sans être rémunéré? So the problem here is كاين people who think بلي they are failing in life, بلي ما مش ناجحين في حياتهم because they are not entrepreneurs, which is false, because it depends on you, on your truth, on what you want to do with your life. And if you don't feel like success to you is being an entrepreneur, that you don't enjoy it, that you enjoy your 9-to-5 life, why would you feel like a failure? And once again, it's because of the image of, glamorizing hustle and entrepreneurship on social media. Again. Sometimes والله some people they feel like failures in their 9-to-5 are very hardworking people, and even in their 9-to-5 والله they proceed with such strategy, with intelligence, with they have a lot to offer. Like, again, social media's fault for making them feel bad. The truth is والله there is space for everyone, even for people who want to do both, because صح كاين الناس اللي يحبوا they do both, and I recommend it. I mean, you have a vision, you have a goal, you want to do, you have a dream that you would like to achieve and make a business out of it, go for it, okay? صح, never depend on that, surtout pas le début, okay? Keep your 9-to-5, and keep that place of, let's say, of stability. خلي هذيك لا stability تاع 9-to-5 تاع monthly revenue اللي حيدخل لك and you can survive, okay? بصح doesn't mean you are supposed to stop working on funding your dream and making your goal see the light and maybe serve other people. Now you have I'd like to share with you 5, not even 5, like 6, no, let's make it 5 steps to work smarter, not harder but smarter, in order to achieve your goals, whether you have a 9-to-5 or you have an affair, you are an entrepreneur. Okay, so first of all, you always have to have a vision. يقول لك have a vision ماشي you see what you want as a picture. ولا تقولوا لي كاين a lot of people who are like ما تقوليش ندير a vision board. Guys, I'm not asking you to make a vision board. I know how people like judge these stuff, and so I never ask people to do it, and I don't know if I'm gonna talk about my own experiences with vision boards. Maybe I will do it, but I'm not trying to convince anyone to work with vision boards. الناس اللي ما على بالهم شنو a vision board, it's just a board okay, where تلصق دي فوتو تاع goals that you have, whether it's, I don't know, your dream car, your dream house, your dream trip, your dream, I don't know, buddy, summer buddy, whatever you dream of having. And then you program yourself to look at that vision board in the morning and at night. Why? Because there is a specific reason why You need to look at that. Now, am I gonna go further in this podcast? No, I'm not trying to convince you to do this. No, but I'm talking about a vision which is clear about your goals, okay? Now, once you have a vision, try to adapt the time. كيفاش? Like, you have a vision, okay? You want to achieve that specific thing اللي راهي تجيك لا فوتو تاعو في راسك, right? Now, give it time. Try to estimate it. L'estimation تكون entre, en général, 5-10 ans. Yes, it is a lot. صح, if you are really disciplined and consistent, you can make it in 2 years. Just telling you. Now, for example, have a 5-year vision. Okay, تكون عندك هذيك la vision. على 5 سنين حندير هذيك الحاجة. Now set goals that are gonna help you achieve it, okay? And here what I suggest is تبدأ بالgoals صغار كامل, okay? Micro goals, and then you go to macro goals الكبار كامل. Why? Because لازم you follow a process, okay? لو كان you start with big goals قبالة راح يتليموا عليك and you're gonna feel like جامي حتلحق ديرهم كامل وتلحق لهم كامل. It's gonna start, stress and anxiety feeling عندك, and you will end up doing absolutely nothing again. So go step by step, little by little, until you achieve them. Now stay focused and stay consistent, because sometimes we set goals, we have a vision, blah blah blah, بصح ما نكملوش because there is no consistency, okay? And consistency باش تجي جيب discipline, because يعني تولف تولي discipline, and that consistency and discipline يولي your everyday life بلا ما تفيق. And the last one is to be intentional and to have a purpose. Now when I tell you have a purpose, خمم على الرسالة ديالك كما يقولوا لها. You have something, tu veux véhiculer quelque chose, tu veux véhiculer un message à travers le business اللي حاب تبدأ ولا whatever you want to share, okay? There's always a purpose behind it. toujours لازم l'intention تاعك déjà لازم تكون intentional, l'intention تكون pure, لازم تكون pure, لازم تكون تاع الصح ماشي متصنعة, because it's gonna, you're gonna feel it. كاين دي بيزنس اللي يخترعوا لروحهم رسالة, يخترعوا لروحهم let's say une histoire even, which is like a marketing process, an emotional marketing process, and at the end تلقاهم بلي they are fake, and everything قاع واش il véhicule is fake, and you're not gonna be, it's not gonna feel as good as a true story and a true message behind a business. Okay, so هادو هما steps, and let's remember that there is space for everyone and that we are all valuable and valued. ماشي parce que فلان عنده business il a plus de valeur que فلان اللي يخدم comme employé chez une autre entreprise, and vice versa. I mean, it depends how you see things, but try to always see the best in whatever you are doing, and do it the best way you can. Yeah, I mean, that's it, and we arrived to the end of this podcast. By the way, let me tell you something before we end up. أنا قاعدة في appartement فارغة, and I'm recording here because there is no noise. يعني راكم حين تسمعوا الحس. يعني أنا I chose to come here especially because ما كاش people who would disturb and interrupt me. Anyway, that's not the case of this. And when I started working, I kind of heard the sofa moving. I ignored it first. درت روحي ما شفت ما سمعت. And then طلعت راسي and I saw the fucking sofa moving. And I was like, est-ce que نرفض everything ونعود نطلع وندير روحي ما شفت والو, or I continue recording and again ندير روحي ما شفت والو. Guess which one I chose? Yeah, if you are listening to this, it's because I stayed and I finished this podcast. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. And once again, I didn't plan any outro, so peace.